Well, as part of our budget build trail Jeep, we took a road trip up to the Sierra foothills to visit Jimmy Strauss at Jimmy Strauss Jeeps. So we'll show you what we were up to. Well, I ran into a little bit of a setback with Clover. You're always taking a little bit of a chance putting in a takeout engine, but once I got it all together and running, it just was not quite running right. So I had a friend of mine come over and take a look with a friend of mine who rebuilds engines, and the engine seems to be really tight for some reason, and not sure what would cause that, especially for an engine that had been running before. So he thinks it might have grabbed a bearing or grabbed the rear main seal, but I got to drop the oil pan and investigate to see if I can figure out what's going on. Well, this is what it looks like. Okay, here's the middle bearing. Well, when I investigated the bearings, they look pretty rough, and I'm seeing some metal shavings in the oil pan, so I think my bearings are toast on this. Well, I took a chance on using a takeout engine on this build. I thought would be a good running engine, but it's not, and I'm gonna have to pull the engine and address that. So I think I'll do that, and while that's being done, I'll start on another project. Out she comes. So that's what I was trying to hear. Oh, I see this.
You're still hung up here. I don't know if we can drill it out with a drill. One more thing down.
We're moving Clover down to the storage shed while we're getting the engine fixed, and then we'll bring Clover back up to the shop and put the engine back in.
Is this the one that was in the Jeep? Or?
Yeah. It was a takeout one that I thought I'd take a chance on, but it didn't work out.
I will just get the
and then we send them out and bake them 700 degrees
Oh, okay.
so that they get rid of the oil that's got the wax in it, you know, the paraffin oil.
Oh, okay.
So then they get blasted again and then washed again. But now all the insides of all the oil jacks have been cremated.
Oh,
So
okay.
they keep it in there for a couple hours for 700 degrees. We found that cleans them pretty good because it just turns everything into ash and washes it out.
Oh,
then
yeah.
they shot peen it, and then just like that chunk right there is just a chunk of. It's all petrified grease.
Oh, yeah.
So now when you blast it, it comes apart. Everything washes out really good.
Oh, nice.
Each customer gets their name on each part as their engine's torn down. Each part is individually cleaned, blasted, cleaned. All the oil pans are checked for leaks. As you can see, each and every part is cleaned.
Oh, wow.
So when people say they rebuild stuff, there's different degrees of rebuild. We restore and rebuild.
Yeah.
You know, all the insides of this, all the edges of this has to be hammered down flat so the oil pan doesn't, or the timing cover doesn't leak. We have to check all the threads, and if they've been stripped, we have to re-weld them and then mill them back down again and tap them. We have to check the engine plate, make sure it's straight, make sure the ears aren't bent, make sure this is flat so that it doesn't leak out of the back of the block, because that's one of the big leaking points of these engines. You can see the intake and exhaust manifold completely disassembled, resurfaced, even the oil float. We take the screen out and we check it for buoyancy and make sure that it's clean all inside, not just washed through a hot tank, but internally clean and tested to make sure it floats. Even the intake manifold's all resurfaced. Just to give you an idea, so that will end up looking like this when it's done.
Oh, yeah.
You can see each part's going through at each stage. This one here, we got to make sure all this is straightened. This will all be flattened in here. Each customer has their name on their part so that everybody gets their same part back.
Yeah, I've seen my name all over my engines I get back from you.
Yeah, they're all over. And there's crank cores there. So yeah, each one of these is in a process of what stage they go through.
Oh, cool.
So that we can keep, it's kind of like got this inertia of how much we keep putting through each day of production. Get 2 hours at least of run time on it, break it in, make sure there's no oil leaks, check all the valves, readjust them, retorque everything, check it again. That way we know that when the customer gets it, it protects us, that we've given them something that works, and it doesn't let them feel like they're getting something they don't know a mystery on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So and then a lot of times, like, we time it and everything, so when they get the engine, they could just take it out, put the oil back in it, and if they pick it up here, we'll even leave the oil in it for them, but if we ship it, then we have to take the oil out. But they can put it in, the engine's timed with it, and he uses a timing line on it and everything, so they don't have to think. And if they don't have everything, we have each component that we can put on it to test it and remove it, like our own distributor, our own coil, our own starter, all that stuff, so then the thing will start again on our stand, and then they can utilize keeping their stuff. If they don't send us everything.
Cool.
Now we like to do the oil filters over and everything, that way we know it's clean. Because we don't know what, we do this engine and the guy puts a dirty oil filter cartridge in and the engine has a problem, then all of a sudden everybody's pointing fingers like, well, what happened? So if we take care of all of it, then then it's kind of like all our responsibility.
Right.
We have to charge extra for the time to do it, but I think it gives them an overall better experience.
Yeah.
So you do about 5 or 6 per month?
One every, well, they're in all different stages. These are the next round here. It's like one every 5 weeks gets done.
Okay.
Yeah, roughly. That one just got done there. And then this black one's the next one to go on the test stand and run. Of course, that one's been done. So those are all done there.
Oh, okay.
There's another one over there done. Right here.
Oh, yeah. So you got a Bantam going on here?
Yeah, I got 2 Bantams going on.
Wow.
Yeah, this one we've been hand building every part. This one is pretty well, I guess it's an original Bantam, but we've had to build and cast everything. We had to make the gear shift, we had to make the casting, we had to make the emergency brake handle, we had to make this.
Oh, wow.
This is not one that existed. All the seat backs, the seats themselves, every single part, basically all the wood and all this we had to make. We had to make all the front grille, all these bars, the entire frame, under the hood.
Wow, that sure is different.
Yeah.
Look how low that.
Yeah.
right down to these little brass couplers that we had to have the machinist make. All that stuff for all the details to be correct.
Wow, that's amazing. That is,
And we're hand fitting every single piece every time.
that is a beautiful Jeep. That is so cool.
We're doing two of them. This is a early series without the corrugated floor. We're doing one in the back also with a corrugated floor. But we had to go through the ring of pinions, the steering box. We even have to cast the steering boxes.
Wow.
We had to cast the bell housings. We had to cast even this cover. We had to make even this cover that goes underneath. We had to cast this entire piece.
Oh, wow.
We had to cast the thermostat housing.
There's another engine sitting over there. Now you got Jeeps and stuff all over the place.
Countersinking the screws and the hinges right now.
Oh, yeah.
We have to like pre-fit the whole Jeep and then disassemble the whole Jeep in order to make it, ensure that everything is fitting. Plus, because we're doing two of them, this was the pattern one that we were using for the second one.
Oh,
So this
okay.
one was being held up because we're always building parts for the second one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We even had to cast all these pieces.
Wow.
You know, even the footman loops we had to cast
Wow.
because there are certain specific lengths.
So you had that stamped?
Yes,
Yeah.
we made Ron, the machinist, made the dies to press stamp this ring off an original
Oh, wow.
so that we can reproduce the Bantam reflector correctly.
Oh, very cool.
Because an MB has a much taller ridge around it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And the MA is even different.
Yeah.
So all these little details, just little stuff that people, and like those little brass pieces I showed you. I mean, how many Bantams get those put back on?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That piece right there.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? It's like a little piggyback junction block for the blackout lights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then most people probably would have just crimped an eyelet on it and put it right on the post, but that's what they were supposed to have.
Yeah. I
You know.
mean,
Those are the details that make a good restoration.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is the four-wheel
Yeah.
steer one.
And we're
So you
working on
can
the
see-
upholstery. Those seat cushions in the back are not staying in it. We actually have Nick Hoppers coming and putting in it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can see how the steering on this thing, steer it. What happens is you can drive it normal. See how the back doesn't change?
Yeah.
Until you get to 15 degrees. And then when you turn to 15 degrees, then the cams on the divorce steering box kick in, and then it starts to let the back work. So you can make it.
So they made two GPWs that were four-wheel steer?
Yeah, there was two of them that there's been photos of, not much information on them. Ron has a picture of one of them, I think, in France, and then one of them that's like a Ford documented photo.
Oh, that's really cool.
He plans on having this one at his open house. So
Oh, yeah. Very, very nice.
it has two steering boxes, basically. But kind of a unique thing. We still have to set the toe end on it and the alignment. It's still not. He drove it once, but it's not tracking where we know what it's doing yet because we didn't have the upholstery or the seats in it to drive it.
Oh, okay.
Actually, the day he drove it, he didn't even have the brake pedals on it. It was a little bit scary,
Cool.
but yeah, and I can show you the back too.
Okay, yeah.
And that's an MA engine sitting there. More engines that have been crated in. Back shop. See, all the brake parts have all been blasted. When we build the brakes, everything gets painted nicely. All the axles and everything. Here's one of the CJ chassis. There's an MA body there. Just finished the metal work on all that.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Got quite the operation.
And there's another Bantam body standing on end back there. We're building all the pieces, the shelf. This is all the parts for the second Bantam we're putting together. A lot of them are bodies in waiting. And this is my MA here, the last one. I did this in 2014.
Oh, yeah.
So,
That was like a national champion.
yeah. Now she sits here in the garage because I'm too busy working everybody else's. I don't get to do anything. But each customer has a shelf or two shelves on each job, so everybody's parts are individually separated. Here's another engine that we completed for a customer. This guy's name is Aaron.
Yep.
So his is actually going in his Jeep in the back there. And we work with people. He's one of the people that he's not rushing us, and he kind of pays us each month to do stuff on it. So because of that, he gets work done, but he's not like we're pushing him real hard front line with some of the other ones that the guys, you know, want them done yesterday.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know. Well, these shelves are all the Bantam stuff.
Oh,
the
okay.
Bantam. Bantam body's green, standing on end. We're going to put it on a body cart. You can walk over there and look at it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we're going to assemble it real fast. It's been taken apart because we've been using patterns. So one feeds the other one. Here's the hood, you know, the fuel tank, you know, so it's like one piece after another. We're just waiting to get them done. And we've had to use a lot of these for casting patterns and things like that. So
Oh yeah. So it's not just you order
all
the
these
part.
are solid disc wheels.
Oh yeah.
You look over here and you see these axles here. We're going to give these a final paint, but they've all been rebuilt. We've taken them all apart. Each part was individually primed or painted, and now they're going to get a final coating before all the brake lines and everything are installed. Here's another frame that we just painted. The GPW, the guy's doing a Navy Jeep, so he wants it black frame with gray body. I don't know if you can squeeze over here, but here's the other Bantam body. This one's getting ready to be assembled. It'll go rather fast now that we've actually used the patterns for everything that, and we know since we've done the one Bantam already, now there's not much question. This is an M38A1 we're doing for a guy out of Washington. We've test ran the engine and it's all done. We got an overdrive installed.
Wow, that's a really different generator on there.
Yeah, it's a 24 volt.
Oh, 24 volt. Okay.
Yeah, this is 24 volt system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can see the distributor. We went through all those parts for him, had them all rebuilt already.
Wow.
Yeah, all
Oh,
these
yeah.
pieces. So now we're working on his sheet metal for him. We just got his tires in Friday. They're actually the ones that are stacked over there in the corner because he wants non-directional tires.
Oh yeah.
These are all bodies that are in waiting for us to do the same work, and bodies tend to be the blood clot on the restorations and trying to get done, especially
Yep.
the time consumption and the cost.
Yeah.
You know, frames are still pretty tough too. Also, this Willie's frame here, you know, what we did on this frame is the owner had a lot of sentimental value to this since he's had it since his childhood, so we straightened it, but he insisted on us keeping specific damaged areas that he repaired as part of his sentimentalness. So in some cases we wouldn't normally do this on a regular restoration, but he requested certain things to be left because it was part of a memory that he had at a time in his life. So a lot of times we custom restore stuff to the person's specifications.
Oh yeah.
You know, in order to try to make their needs.
Well, we just dropped the engine off at Jimmy Strauss Jeeps, and we're heading back.